failed to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. Delivering its decision on Thursday, the Court of Appeal criticized the approach adopted by the trial court, stating that the learned trial judge had lost sight of the constitutional principle that every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The appellate court further made observations about the manner in which the prosecution conducted the case and concluded that the evidence presented fell short of the legal threshold required to sustain the convictions. Speaking to JoyNews after the judgment, lead counsel for Sedna Tamaklo-Atenu, expressed satisfaction with the court's ruling.
First off, let me seize the opportunity to thank my lords for the erudite judgment they have given. So yes, as you may already know, the judgment will be ready by close of today, and so we would all pick it up and then read it, and then we can do thorough discussion on same. However, the crux of what Milord said today is that in fact Sedinam, my client, is indeed acquitted and discharged.
He also stated that they are taking all the necessary steps to secure their client's release from prison custody by the close of the week.
We've just applied, in fact we are applying for the copy, a certified copy, and then we'll take the necessary steps. So from my end, I would wish that she's even out now, but of course these things, there are procedural steps to take. So we'll ensure that we do everything today and then as much as possible before the week ends. We anticipate that she should be out.
The decision brings to a close a significant chapter in the high-profile MASLOC case and represents a major legal victory for the former Chief Executive Officer Sedna Tamaklo-Atenu. For JoyNews, Fatal Bayaga, Court of Appeal.
Well, for now, the full judgment is out, and my colleague Kweku Asante joins us via Zoom with the details of it. Kweku, first of all, what were, the submissions, and what really was the reasoning of the court?
Well, Samani and Noella, this is a 94-page document of the Court of Appeal that analyzes the specifics of the judgment, and we are going to go through it. It can be divided into three parts. First, a preliminary legal objection that was raised by the Attorney General. Two, the matter having to do with the parts of the charge sheet deemed defective by lawyers from Sedina Tamaklo, and the part of the charge sheet that was not struck out, and whether or not the state was able to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. Let's start by saying that when the appeal was filed and the arguments were heard, the first argument by the prosecution was to the effect that since Madame Sedina Tamaklo had absconded from the jurisdiction, she had no right to appeal. The Court of Appeal rejected that, and it said that an appeal is conferred by statute. And once the statute says she has a right to appeal conviction and sentencing, whether or not she was tried in absentia is a non-starter. It does not matter. And once she has complied with the processes that leads up to the filing of the appeal, then she's entitled for the appeal to be heard. So the Court of Appeal dismissed the preliminary objection that was filed by the Attorney General's Department in that case. Now, one of the cases, the arguments the lawyers for Sedina Tamaklo made in court was to the effect that the charges, some of them were defective. In fact, the argument was that all of them were defective. And so the court should do an analysis of that. The court held that it is true that sometimes a charge may be defective, but there are two types of defective charges. One, defective charges that can be cured, and defective charges that are incurable. So that are defective charges that goes to the root of the matter in a way that they cannot be sustained. The court's argument was that if you look at the counts alleging conspiracy to willfully cause financial loss to the state, they found them to be incurably flawed in that they omit an indispensable ingredient of the offense, that is, the particular act or omission which was said to be willful and which was committed, and by which reason that loss was occasioned. So that is what the court found with a conspiracy to commit willfully cause financial loss to the state. The court said, and I quote again in paragraph 62, that the particulars are materially indistinguishable They identify conduct of Sedina and the other accused person, which they are alleged to have agreed to together, which has caused the said loss to the state, but which had no particulars. And so in total, the state actually charged Sedina Tamaklo with 78 counts. By the time the Court of Appeal finished analyzing these grounds, at least 34 of them had been struck out as being defective. It's a procedural technicality to say that the particulars of that allegation did not provide enough particulars or enough information for Madam Sedina Tamaklo and the other accused person to be able to mount a robust defense. So other charges that the court found that actually good. And so the court had to now do an analysis to find out whether or not the state had been able to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. There was a matter having to do with 500,000 cedi loan that had been advanced by MASLOC under Madam Sedina Tamaklo to a microfinance company called Obatampa Company. Obatampa Company returned the money to MASLOC because the interest that was being charged, they found it so high. And so the state had to prove that Sedina Tamaklo had taken that money and stolen it. But the state was unable to do so because the only thing the state proved to show that Madam Sedina Tamaklo had taken that amount of money was a letter allegedly written by Sedina Tamaklo. But Sedina Tamaklo, in her caution statement to the police, denied that that was not her signature. Therefore, the Court of Appeal held that it was up to the prosecution to actually prove that the signature on that letter was Madam Sedina Tamaklo's, and that the trial judge erred by holding that Madam Sedina Tamaklo had to actually prove that that was not a signature. Seeing that you are pressed for time, the case goes on, and so three legs. One, that the preliminary legal objection that Madam Sedina Tamaklo absconded and so cannot appeal was dismissed. Part of the charge sheet were found to be defective, and the court found that the state was not able to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt, and that the judge sought to turn the criminal law on its head when she indeed sought to say that Madam Sedina Tamaklo should prove parts of the case. Rafa.
Kweku Asante, thank you so much for bringing down the reasoning of the court there.
Well, let's bring you more context to this developing story because the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Kharyne, has now filed a notice of appeal to the Supreme Court together with an application for stay of execution of the judgment pending the final determination of the appeal. Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party has reacted to the decision of the Court of Appeal, saying Mrs. Atuonu's conviction was anchored on abundance of evidence. On your screens right now are excerpts of the party statement, and they read, the party is demanding that 1, the Attorney General discontinue all criminal cases involving NPP appointees if the same standard is being applied. It doesn't end here. They continue to say that 2, Ashanti Regional NPP Chairman Bernard Nchibosiako Chairman Wuntumi be acquitted and discharged, arguing his conviction was also politically motivated. And 3, the Attorney General publicly account for all cases involving government-affiliated persons that have been discontinued or withdrawn since January 2025. They continue to say that the Judicial Council and the judiciary take steps to restore public confidence in the justice system. And the NPP says it will pursue all lawful avenues, including seeking a review of the Court of Appeal's decision at the Supreme Court where applicable, insisting that the fight against corruption must be impartial and that public funds must be protected.
Well, in Parliament, the minority is accusing the AG of playing politics with his decision to appeal the acquittal of former MASLOC boss Sedina Tamaklo. Now, the NPP MPs describe the planned appeal as mere, quote, settings, unquote, and a public relations gimmick. Listen.
Do you believe the Attorney General when he says so? It's just making those pronouncements to kind of appease or send a signal to Ghanaians that he doesn't agree with the court. But you and I know that there is no way he's going to be committed to a strong appeal process that would lead to a possible conviction of one of their own. As I said, they are not committed when it comes to the fight against corruption.
Legally, we are told that the AG says he's going to appeal. Well, I have no faith in that appeal because I know that they are not going to put any serious fights. It's just political gimmickry, if you ask me. I think that they want the people of Ghana to know that they're doing something about it. Mark my words, the woman is going to walk free. She's not going to suffer any punishment for what she did. It tells us one thing, that in this country, our fight against corruption is just on the face value. We don't mean it, especially this government.
They monitored the sentiments of Ghanaians upon the ruling of the Court of Appeal. Then I see this as an afterthought, and the backlash and the pressure that they are attempting to even appeal against the decision of the Court of Appeal.
He's doing that because this was not received well, particularly by some of the people from our stock who had joined them, from the middle class and the CSOs. You see, what the NDC is doing is very calculated, and nobody seems to be paying attention. I'm going to tell you this. This whole thing is a sequence. They planned the date for the judgment such that it will meet the issuance of the white paper on the constitutional review, deliberately accept the reduction of the age for the president to 39, so they think that the youth will celebrate 35, so that the youth will celebrate.
To more news, government has accepted several recommendations by the Constitutional Review Committee. Now, they include extending the tenure of the president and members of parliament from 4 to 5 years, allowing dual citizens to hold most public offices, and capping parliament at 300 members. Now, presenting government's position paper, Attorney General Dr. Dominic Kharyne said the longer tenure would give administrations more time to govern effectively. And Maxwell Agbagba has more from the Jubilee House.
The government has backed several recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee, including a proposal to extend the presidential term from 4 to 5 years, cap the size of parliament, and introduce a fixed tenure for the Chief Justice. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Kharyne has been providing explanation for the decision to accept the proposal for the extension of the presidential term.
The government has accepted a recommendation to extend the term of office of the president from 4 years to 5 years, with a term of parliament extended to correspond with this. Our thinking is practical. Under the current 4-year cycle, the early months of every administration are consumed by transition matters, and the final year is largely consumed by elections. A 5-year term provides a more realistic time frame for the formulation, implementation, and assessment of government policy. Still on the presidency, the committee recommended that the minimum age of eligibility for election as president be reduced from 40 years, currently in the Constitution, to 30 years. The government has accepted this recommendation in principle, subject to one modification. The minimum age will be 35 years, not 30 years.
On the Supreme Court, government agrees with the recommendation to cap its membership, but proposes a higher ceiling of 19 justices instead of the committee's recommended 15.
The government supports a fixed tenure for the Chief Justice. That is a single, non-renewable term of 10 years or until the age of retirement, whichever occurs first. The government supports capping the Supreme Court's membership. Currently, the committee recommended a cap of 15 justices. The government proposes 19. That is the Chief Justice and 18 justices of the Supreme Court. Now, this cap promotes efficiency, manages public expenditure while the bench of 19 remains sufficiently robust to discharge the court's constitutional mandate.
The government has further accepted a proposal to limit the size of parliament to 300 members. Under the proposed arrangement, 276 members of parliament will continue to be elected from constituencies, while 24 additional seats will be allocated through proportional representation to improve representation for women, persons with disabilities, and the youth. The government, however, differs on the proposed cap on the number of ministers, recommending a ceiling of 60 instead of the committee's proposed 57. Dr. Yini also outlined the implementation roadmap for the reform.
Now, the roadmap is set out in this position paper for amendments of the Constitution is set out in this position paper, and it is deliberate and time-bound. Following today's publication, the President will swear in the Constitution Review Implementation Committee. The CRIC, CRIC, will prepare 2 constitution amendment bills simultaneously. The first bill will cover the amendments to the non-entrenched provisions of the Constitution. It will follow the procedure in Article 291 of the Constitution. That is publication in the Gazette, laying in Parliament, a referral to the Council of State for advice, and passage by 2/3 majority of all members of Parliament, followed by presidential assent. The second bill will cover the amendments to the entrenched provision. That bill must travel the road prescribed by Article 290 of the Constitution.
Well, let's still stay a while or longer on this, because government has rejected a number of proposals by the Constitutional Review Committee. My colleague Papani Yalley joins us in studio with more on this. Papani, what more can you tell us with regards to this?
So we know that the page was 94 pages in terms of government's response to the Constitutional Review Committee's work that he had done. We'll walk through a number of the proposals that has come through. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba, who was at the presidency already through his report, told us a number of them. But we know that the 5-year presidential for MPs and the president term has been accepted, and also the minimum age for president to 30 years. That's what the committee, the Age Kwesi Prempeh Committee actually recommended. But government's response says that though they like the idea behind it, they think that it should be 35 years. So Noella, you still have a few more years before you qualify for it. Then elections to be held in November, that government accepted as well. Now, the committee also recommended that the president should pay taxes. Now, that was accepted by government largely, but there was also a caveat that it should exclude his retirement gratuity and also his pension, that when he's giving money to go home, we shouldn't be paying taxes on that amount of money. And also there's the president prosecutions during and before his tenure. Now, that was rejected by government, that the president should not be able to, should not be prosecuted for things he's done during his tenure. And also cabinet member to be president when the seat is vacant. In the thinking of the committee, the cabinet member should elect one amongst themselves, right? For someone to take after the roles of the president when the president and the vice is not in town. That was rejected. They thought that the Constitution as it stands prescribes the procedure for somebody to assume the roles when these two individuals are not around. And we know how it follows that. Yeah. It goes to Vice the President is not around. Exactly. Then if the speaker is not around, then we have the Chief Justice that will act. Oh, yeah. They thought that was sufficient. Now the committee again also said that there's a 10-year tenure for the Chief Justice. This they accept. That means that when you're appointed as a Chief Justice, at least you go to 10 years. Or if you retire, that is if you get to the retirement age before the 10-year tenure reaches. Also, there should be a cap on the number of Supreme Court justices. They accepted, but they thought that the 15 was too small. They thought that we should take it to 19. And then also, we should elect some district chief executives. Government thinks that, well, they like it, but the caveat of some. The committee's thinking was that some districts may have the financial power to be almost independent and vote for who they thought to be their DCA. But government says that no, it will be difficult to actually tell who has the financial muscle to do it or not. So let's allow everybody to elect their DC. So possibly, if these are accepted, it means that everybody will get an opportunity to choose who becomes their DC or MCE. Also, they thought that MP should be barred from ministerial role. That was rejected. The number of ministers capped at 3 times the number of people in cabinet. That was accepted, but they thought that the cap should be at 60 ministers and not more than that. So no matter how many people should be in cabinet, if you have 60 ministers, that should end the game. Also removed censured ministers and bar them from reappointment. This was flatly accepted. And also, actions during and post-election period, and you know what has been happening usually after the December 7 elections. Sometimes you get government who says that they have to still run government. They take some decisions, pass some laws. That is binding on the next government. This was accepted that should end. That immediately there's an election, there shouldn't be any decision that has the next government must suffer for, in essence, right? And then MP size should be capped at 270. This is what the committee thought should happen, that where we are, we should end there. But government said, well, we want to end there, but we should add additional 24 seats to it. And they, in their mind, thought that there should be a different formula. It won't be stricto sensu members of parliament as you have it, but we'll have some representation from other groups like women, people living with disability, and some other, they thought minority groups, let me say, right?
They would be appointed?
Well, they are leaving this to the Constitutional Review and Implementation Committee to also come down to some of these things. Some of these things will be separated into 2. Ones that will have to, the Constitution necessarily has to be amended through a referendum. And then others will have to go to Parliament where 2/3 majority can just say, yeah, or nay, and then we approve them. So we'll wait to see where this specific one will fall under, whether members of Parliament think they need 24 other people to join them. Right? People who may not necessarily be appointed or elected through the same means. We arrange to see how that will happen. And then also, dual citizens must not renounce citizenship before contesting. That flatly was announced. So if you are a Canadian, you're a Ghanaian, you can still be a member of parliament. You don't have to reject the Canadian membership. And then finally, the security and public employees should not engage in party politics. Government says that should be accepted. But if you want to run or be in a political ticket, you have to resign from your position in any of these sectors, and then expand rights of people living with disability, and then abolishing the death penalty. That was accepted. And then the very controversial one, where the committee thought that, first of all, the AG's power to prosecute cases on corruption should be taken away and given to another body. And then secondly, about some of the things that the AG will be doing. Government rejected the first bit about removing the AG's authority to prosecute corruption offense. They thought that they had a better way of dealing with it. One of their proposal was to have the Office of the Attorney General separated from the Minister of Justice. And I'm sure that for those who have the fine print, you can be able to, government has released that, you'll be able to see the reasoning behind this. So these are some of the snapshot of the decisions the government or their response, they say the position paper, to what the Constitutional Review Committee had done, led by H. Kwesi Prempeh.
Thank you so much, Michael Papani Ashale, breaking it down for us with regards to the constitutional reforms there. Noella?
Let's do more news. And a stray bullet has injured a young man at a mobile money shop in Wachau. Now, Babule Wahidu was there to withdraw money when he was hit. And while West MP Peter Lanchene Tobu is calling for an end to the Lasai-Kendal conflict, an investigation into the incident, and Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
His name is Babule Wahidu. He is 24. On Tuesday, he was standing at a mobile money point in Wachau. When the running started, the gunshots. The man who treated him is the acting medical director and a trauma surgeon at the Upper West Regional Hospital, Dr. Philip K.K. Babine.
When he arrived, he was hemodynamically stable. So we received him, resuscitation, and prepared him for theater. He sustained a penetrating injury, which has characteristics of a gunshot wound on the lateral aspect of the right thigh.
The 24-year-old will soon be wheeled to the orthopedic ward for continuous treatment. He will be discharged within a week, but he will carry the scar and the memory for much longer. Another man was also shot in the shoulder during the Wuchao tension. He is stable and is being managed without surgery. This is the Lassie Tolu Kendall conflict. It started June 15, 2024. It already claimed 3 lives, destroyed homes, destroyed trust. Tensions flared again after 2 youth were killed last November. And last week, suspect Abu Tijani died at a YSDA hospital after complaining of severe headache while in police escort. Now, stray bullets are finding innocent people. Superintendent retired Peter Lentinen Tubu is the MP for Wa West.
The incident left many families devastated and threatened the peace and stability of our beloved district.
The Wa West MP just returned from a fact-finding trip to Wuchao. His message: stop the guns, start the justice.
I therefore call on the Ghana Police Service and all relevant state institutions to continue their investigations professionally and impartially. Justice must be done for every victim of this conflict. I also call on the Office of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice to ensure the fair, impartial, and expeditious prosecution of all cases arising from the Kendall-Lassie-Tolu conflict.
Until those behind the Kendall-Lassie-Tolu and the Wuchao violence are held accountable, the fear is the next stray bullet already has a name.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Now, unknown persons have stolen electric cables from the Oforiokum Court complex in the Ashanti region. We'll bring that story right after this break. Well, are you still watching JoyNews Prime?
Yeah, with NNS, Samani and Noella. We'll be right back.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
No. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes, respond with Mala 2. Fight malaria with Mala 2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists. Test for malaria first before taking Mala 2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
All these were food.
Food should I bring, Mankasa?
I only took small pill. Small? You pour like water for.
Let's check the camera, shall we? What camera?
I knew it.
Hey. Hey, Mommy, Daddy.
Fruit is for sharing. No need to hide to enjoy.
Family that share together.
Stay together.
Wait, there's more.
Hey, Grandma.
Someone match it.
Fratelli, the family drink. This advert is FDA approved.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies, performance that delivers. delivers every time.
Your phone only has one job, to keep up with you. But when your camera freezes, your messages arrive late, your video calls keeps breaking, and your battery gives up even before the day begins. Maybe your phone is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to get something better. Purchase the phone that keeps up with you during CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phone festival where top brands meet best prices. From the 27th of July to the 9th of August, enjoy exciting discounts on smartphones from Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, Itel, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji, plus amazing gifts. CompuGhana has the right choice for you. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp us on 0243-143-143. Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phones festival. Top brands, best prices. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabidim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number one, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. He did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Missed passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-5010-175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
You're welcome, Mac. This is JoyNews, Brian.
Now, Ghana's fight against human trafficking is facing a new challenge as traffickers have identified to be turning to social media, smartphones and encrypted platforms to recruit and exploit victims. The Anti-Human Trafficking Unit says it rescued more than 1,200 victims in 2025 alone. We'll bring you details of that shortly, but first, my colleagues Stephen Mensah and Adobe Asare bring you the story of Godwin, who was taken from his home by his aunt and trafficked to the Volta Lake.
In Hohoi, in the Volta region, Godwin Dogbe was known for being smallish. He was also known for being clever. At school, he regularly came top of his class. He loved reading.
I live a very happy life in the community. Everybody even wants to help me, even wish to be of help to me all the time. Whilst, let me say, I don't personally need it that time, but they want to help me because of how good I am in the community.
It was in many ways an ordinary childhood, until one day, his father introduced him to a woman he called his aunt. She said she would take Godwin to see his hometown during the school holidays. For a boy who had never met much of his extended family, the prospect was exciting.
So with that, everybody agreed on her. And they agreed mainly because she came with my father, because everybody know my father and then they trust him. So they allow me to follow her.
The arrangement carried something powerful, trust. And according to Superintendent William Ayaraga of the Ghana Police Service, that is often where trafficking begins. A parent trusts the person bringing the offer. A child trusts the people making it.
When we talk about people who are recruited to Volta Lake to be exploited in the lake, the source communities has always been in those communities along the sea.
By the following day, the woman who had brought Godwin there had disappeared. No explanation, no goodbye, and no obvious way home.
When I asked, I did not find the woman that I came with that claimed she be my auntie, and she's actually my auntie, my real auntie. When I asked everybody, she's nowhere to be found.
He was sent underwater to untangle fishing nets. The rescue came on an ordinary day, while Godwin and the other children were mending a torn fishing net. The Human Trafficking Fund, established under Ghana's Human Trafficking Act of 2005, was intended to support the work that follows when a victim is identified, from rescue to shelter to psychosocial care. But to what end? Walanyo Kojo Foster is the National Director in charge of Advocacy and Partnerships at the International Justice Mission's IJM.
Better off than where we were, but the real value of what we are doing will lie in the number of people we are able to protect that the system is able to protect and restore.
His story is a reminder that behind every statistic on trafficking is a childhood interrupted, and behind every conviction is a system still working to catch up to the harm already done. For Joy News, Adobe Asari and Stephen Menses report.
Well, the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of the Criminal Investigations Department says it handled 127 cases and rescued 1,202 victims in 2025. Well, Chief Inspector Lydia Yako-Donko says stronger enforcement is needed as trafficking methods become more sophisticated.
In 2025 alone, the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit at the CID headquarters received 127 cases, rescued 1,202 victims, sent 19 cases to court, and secured 8 convictions. Through sustained national efforts and partnerships, Ghana has maintained its Tier 2 ranking in the U.S. Department of State's Trafficking in Persons reports. However, trafficking is becoming increasingly sophisticated. Traffickers are no longer relying only on physical recruitment. They are using social media, smartphones, digital platforms, and encrypted messaging services to identify, recruit, and exploit victims across borders. Fake job opportunities, scholarships, educational programs, entertainment careers, domestic work, and travel opportunities are increasingly used as bait. Victims may surrender their passports, savings, and personal information, believing they are pursuing legitimate opportunities, only to find themselves trapped in forced labor, debt bondage, forced begging, domestic servitude, sexual exploitation, or other forms of modern-day slavery. The CID continues to investigate cases where victims were promised employment in Europe, the Middle East, or Asia, but were instead trafficked to other destinations and subjected to exploitation. We are also witnessing emerging forms of cyber-enabled trafficking involving online investment schemes, digital recruitment platforms, romance scams, and transnational online network marketing schemes. These criminal networks exploit unemployment, economic hardship, and the desire of young people for better opportunities. This changing threat requires a changing law enforcement response. The future of anti-trafficking enforcement must combine traditional policing with digital intelligence, cyber investigations, financial investigations, data analytics, digital forensics, responsible use of artificial intelligence, and international information sharing.
Well, you heard the COP Lydia Donko speaking there. Now, to other stories, many Ghanaians are discovering serious health conditions only when it's too late for early treatment. The Ministry of Health says regular screening and prevention could save many of those lives. Speaking at the launch of For 6 Connect, the Sector Minister Akufo-Addo called for a shift from waiting for people to fall sick to helping them stay healthy. Nancy Kumsin reports.
Non-communicable diseases account for more than 41% of death in Ghana each year. Health Minister Akufo-Addo is calling for a shift from treating illnesses after they develop to preventing them through regular screening and early detection.
But in this country, we have built our health delivery system around treatment, curative. And we have relegated the prevention and promotion to the background. But if you want a health system properly so-called, it's not sick care, it's not treatment. Sick care and treatment should be a subset of a health system.
To help address delays in diagnosis, a Leave Ghana Watch in partnership with Foracare has launched For 6 Connect. The handheld device performs multiple health tests and delivers results within minutes. Chief Executive Officer of a Leave Health Ward Nanabna Jemfuababil says it will support the early detection and management of non-communicable diseases.
So we're encouraging every Ghanaian to know their numbers by having the 406 Connect. It's one device that does 6 tests, and these are basic tests but very essential. As you know, NCDs, non-communicable diseases, are on the rise. When you look at the global statistics, the WHO, according to the WHO statistics, about 45 to 50% of people die of NCDs. So what we're hoping to do is to push and promote the prevention agenda, so everyone goes out there to get screened, either at the polyclinics, health centers, or the CHIPS compound.
Well, Kumasi High School knocks out Asante Senior High School with a 58-50 victory to reach NSMQ Nationals in the last day of Ashanti Regional qualifiers. Your accepts.
Imrantie. Oh, Imrantie. I can't hear the action in your voice. Imrantie. Right, so you just won one of the 3 slots left in the Ashanti Regional qualifiers to go to the National Science and Maths Quiz national stage. I have your school prefect here. Tell me how you're feeling now. I know the contest was quite tight for you. From the starting round, it didn't look like you were the ones going to win because it looked like it was going in the favor of Asante Man. Then you came in at the 3rd round and things changed a bit. How are you feeling now?
It's very, very exciting. My emotions could not be expressed literally by words, but all in all, I'm very excited. I expected this to happen. Even though the 1st and 2nd round was a little bit bumpy and rough, we knew that we would come out victorious, and then we are victors. Here we are.
Let me speak to more of your students from the school. I know how this contest went. Did you expect this kind of contest to face you today?
Yes, madam, please. Actually, we're expecting to win, and it happened. And with God on our side, everything went well. So we prayed. As we always say, we pray, practice, and win. And it came on as well. So we prayed, we practiced, and win.
In your anthem, I was hearing you conquer something. What was the line?
Our vision is to conquer and never be conquered.
Oh, so your vision is to conquer and never be conquered. So today, you have lived the words of your anthem, right? Great. As you head to the national stage, definitely the focus will be on some schools, the various contenders you are going to meet as you proceed to the national stage. I want to know, first of all, what schools are you looking forward to beating when you get there?
Okay, I want us to beat Free Second, also Prempeh College, because they're having a 12 people this year.
This year, where are you targeting? Is it the championship itself, coming back home with the trophy, or maybe somewhere in the quarterfinals or semi-finals?
No, we're going for the finals. And better still, we'll make sure that we get the trophy and bring it back to Kumasi High School, Jinyase. So more or less, we're just expecting to get the trophy, bring it back to our homeland, the Toronto Desert, and then we'll be claimed as champions.
Okay, so the Imran's here from Toronto Desert, right? So Imran's here. Imran's here.
Action.
Anyway, you owe me $100. You owe me. We had a bet. You owe me $100.
I don't remember that. It's AI. It's AI.
Let's not. Okay.
It's AI.
It's
It wasn't me.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'll deal with you. But that's it. Becky is up next to Showbiz.
Hi, it's me. The one you poke, sip, and hopefully love. I'm your small reminder that growing up doesn't mean growing out of me. Trends come and go, but you still reach for me. I'm not just a drink, I'm that little sip that reminds you life can still be sweet. Calipo fruit juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
Malaria's remedy is Lonat. Therefore, we're gonna use Lonat to recover. You have malaria? Yes, are you shivering? Yes, yes. You got chills? Yes, take Lonat. Lonat. First day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Second day, Lonat. Take Lonat. Third day, Lonat. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
This advert is FDA approved.
Seeing the Prentex fabric, I like the color, texture. I chose this design. It suits my body type. It means a lot to me to look good in clothes that I wear. I don't care about nobody's opinion.
So this strategy will lead.
Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working. Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional.
Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
Kwame! You look amazing. Have you discovered a new secret to stay healthy these days?
Actually, I have. It's called SOS Advance. It is a health supplement manufactured in the UK with 11 essential oils like frankincense, black seed, oregano, and neem, all powered by nanotechnology.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. What does it do?
SOS Advance supports your immune system against invading pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and toxins. It also provides antioxidant effects to help combat free radicals and reduce oxidative stress on your body.
Wow, I really need this. Like, I've been feeling off lately, but I can't pinpoint exactly what the problem is.
Oh, easy. I think you should get it. You can find it at every pharmacy nearby.
There's a pharmacy here. Let's go.
Welcome to a place where everyday living is reimagined, where space, movement, and community come together effortlessly. With thoughtfully designed spaces, modern facilities, and everything you need within reach, you don't just live here, you feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Step inside Eden Heights and discover spaces crafted for comfort, style, and everyday living. And just when it feels right, you will know. Because this isn't just about finding a house, it's about stepping into a better way of living. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. Book a private viewing today.
Time it is time now for Showbiz with the one and only Becky. She says she's here with Stonebwoy tonight.
Yeah, apparently you enjoy Stonebwoy's music.
Absolutely.
You do?
That's what you said.
No, that's not. No,
that's what you said. That's what you said.
But do you know that he has a show, an upcoming, for the first time, he's taking, the BIM Festival to London. Is
it O2?
No, not that. Sarkodie has O2 next year, but Stonebwoy is starting from OVO Arena, and this will be his first time doing something like that in London. And he sat with BBC, and he's been talking about, what to expect and the genesis of BIM Festival.
A big festival. Yeah. BIM Nation coming to the UK. First Ghanaian artist to hit the OVO Arena, Wembley. Talk to me about that, man. How did that even happen?
Yeah, it took some number of years to gather this level of momentum. That would make his 16 years from 2010 I believe that a lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been put in, whereby a nation has been built out of BIM, which is BIM Nation, and the nation is deserving of some of the very groundbreaking things that have to happen, that has to happen by Africans from Africa, especially Ghana. We have actually been able to represent Ghana and Africa on so many large scales, and I think that has given us the momentum and the energy to step into this space right now, which is the OVO Arena, Wembley. Is a very big deal, you know.
And the history of the festival, how did it come about, and where is it predominantly held?
BIMFest is actually predominantly held in Ghana, which has been held for 10 good years. And then this year, we say let's hit it to the UK, because the BIMFest actually celebrates music of Black origin and at its excellence, you know. It's just a celebration of music of Black origin, and I think it's the right time to bring it to the UK, which is a multicultural melting point, you know, where people from all race, all walks of life, all styles of music gather.
Away from Stonebwoy, French electronic music producer and DJ Kavinsky has died at the age of 50 after being found at his home in Paris. The artist, best known for his global hit Night Call, rose to international fame through the soundtrack of the 2011 film Drive. More of his life, career, and tributes pouring in a report by ET Entertainment tonight.
Found dead inside his Paris home. He was 50 years old. Police sources tell French newspaper Le dead. Sources suspect Kavinsky died of a stroke, but French prosecutors add an investigation into the causes of death has been opened, as no suspicious elements were discovered at the scene by the first responders. That's Kavinsky on stage at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, performing his big hit alongside Belgian singer Anjali. She remembered her late collaborator on Instagram, sharing 2 heartfelt posts in his honor. The song originally featured in the opening credits of Gosling's critically acclaimed action flick.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. You have to say that.
Right, you're giving us a moment of silence for him, or what?
Yes, if we still have time. Oh, we don't have time.
We don't have time.
Yeah,
it's time for us to go. And that's our show for tonight. Of course, you can find more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com for all the top stories, all the latest news and entertainment, of course. Please do visit myjoyonline.com. My name is Emmanuel Samani. It is with
Rebecca Daku-Trinebois.
Bye-bye.
You did.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver unmatched performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
Putting on just the fabric isn't really enough. You have to put on your confidence. I chose this Printex fabric because it symbolizes hope and success because of the color and the texture.
Printex.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
No. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes, respond with Mala-2. Fight malaria with Mala-2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists. Test for malaria first before taking Mala-2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Your phone only has one job, to keep up with you. But when your camera freezes, your messages arrives late, your video calls keeps breaking, and your battery gives up even before the day begins. Maybe your phone is trying to tell you something. Maybe it's time to get something better. Purchase the phone that keeps up with you during CompuGhana's Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phone festival where top brands meet best prices. From the 27th of July to the 9th of August, enjoy exciting discounts on smartphones from Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, Itel, Vivo, Xiaomi, Huawei, Hotwave, and Doji, plus amazing gifts. CompuGhana has the right choice for you. Visit any CompuGhana showroom or shop online at CompuGhana.com. Call us on 0302-752020 or WhatsApp us on 0243-143-143. Mobile Prime Week, the biggest mobile phones festival. Top brands, best prices. CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Hello, good evening to you. Warm welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kujubaka. Government says it is undertaking major reforms in Ghana's upstream petroleum sector to improve investor confidence and attract new oil and gas investments. The reforms expected to be completed by the end of this year include a review of the country's fiscal and regulatory framework to make Ghana more competitive in the global upstream industry. Details in this report.
Implementing reforms to improve Ghana's upstream petroleum sector and attract more investment. Speaking at the Africa Business Conversation organized by AB and David Africa, Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition Richard Jan Mensah said an upstream reform committee has been established to review Ghana's fiscal and regulatory framework. He noted that government is committed to maintaining investor confidence and positioning Ghana as an attractive destination for oil and gas investments.
A number of global energy companies have expressed renewed interest in Ghana and are eager to participate in the next phase of our upstream development. Ghana is also strengthening its border energy value chain. The revitalized Tema Oil refinery is producing approximately 28,000 barrels per day. Gas processing capacity at the OCTP has increased, and Cabinet has approved a second gas processing plant to support future industrial growth. These initiatives demonstrate that we are not simply promoting exploration, but we are building a modern, competitive, and integrated energy sector that supports long-term investment and economic transformation. The government is actively competing for global capital and is implementing the reforms necessary to ensure that Ghana remains one of Africa's most attractive upstream investment destinations. Ghana is also open for business. Ghana is undertaking the necessary reforms, and Ghana is ready for the next generation of upstream investments.
Deputy Chief Executive for Exploration and Production at GNPC, Michael Niyama Aite, called for the removal of bureaucratic bottlenecks to improve investor confidence and speed up investment decisions.
Approval timelines and decision making is one of the reasons why companies cross the border to Cote d'Ivoire and to Angola and other areas. So the bureaucratic system needs to be oiled up or cleaned up. And then again, when we add the others, we will be able to get people to move from just interest and then commit to capital.
Technical advisor to the Ministry of Finance, Theophilus Champon, said government is working to reduce the fiscal take from 65 to 67% to about 55%, while urging further reforms to enhance competitiveness and accelerate decision making.
We are trying to bring the fiscal take on average from your 65-67% to about 55% to align with what is happening within the broader sub-region. But on top of that, you need to do a lot of hard work around the non-fiscal element, together with all of the reforms that are needed on the regulatory side to improve the speed of the decision making, ensure that you can actually get the blocks, allocated. And when you allocate it, then we can start holding you also to account that, well, you said you're going to do this. Why are you not, doing it?
Deputy Chief Executive of the Petroleum Commission, Nasir Alpha Mohammed, expressed optimism that the upstream reform will be brought to fruition by the end of the year to strengthen Ghana's ability to attract long-term investment.
We have promised about our fiscals, right? And we are doing everything possible at the moment to ensure that those fiscals, we are able. I know that the minister and then the Ghana negotiation team and then the committee that the minister has put together to review the fiscals and then the laws, they have finished their job as Dr. Tio has indicated and have submitted. And the minister has promised that he would do everything possible to work through up to the end of this year to see if we can bring these reforms into fruition.
Stakeholders say the reforms are expected to boost investor confidence, attract new capital, and position Ghana as a more competitive destination for upstream oil and gas investment.
Away from the upstream sector, Ghana ended last year exporting far higher than what it imported. The Ghana Statistical Service annual merchandise trade statistics showed that the country realized 148 billion cedis more than what it exported. In dollar terms, it was worth 11.5 billion. Here's government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu explaining the factors contributing to the statistics.
2025, Ghana recorded a trade surplus of 34.7 billion Ghana cedis with African countries. Ghana exported to 51 African countries and imported from 55 countries across the continent. South Africa remained Ghana's largest export destination within Africa, while Nigeria was the leading source of imports, especially petroleum products. Trade with neighboring countries also remained strong. Ghana exported significantly more to Burkina Faso, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire than it imported from them. Exports to Burkina Faso alone exceeded 11.8 billion Ghana cedis, driven mainly by plastics, iron, and steel products, as well as manufactured goods. The report further highlights positive developments in food trade. Food exports increased by more than 33 billion cedis in 2025, driven largely by cocoa products, cashew nuts, tuna, and shea products.
Now, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has called for urgent pension reforms across Africa, warning that nearly 85% of the continent's workforce remains outside formal retirement protection. Speaking at the opening of the 2026 annual conference of the African Pension Supervisors Association here in Accra, the Vice President said the continent must rethink pension systems to reflect the realities of Africa's labor market, where a large share of workers operate in the informal sector and earn irregular incomes.
At the 2026 Annual Conference of the African Pension Supervisors Association in Accra, the Vice President said current projections indicate that the number of Africans aged 60 years and above will exceed 226 million by 2050, making pension reform a pressing policy issue for government across the continent.
Pension systems across the continent currently cover less than 1/5 of the workforce. Nearly 85% of workers are largely outside formal retirement protection. For decades, pension systems around the world were designed around formal employment, relationships characterized by relatively predictable incomes and regular contributions. Yet Africa's labor market is far more diverse and dynamic. Many citizens move between occupations over the course of their working lives and therefore earn irregular incomes.
Also at the event, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, disclosed that pension assets grew by 26.3% in 1 year, rising from 86.23 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to more than 100 billion Ghana cedis in 2025.
Colleagues, across Africa, pension asset under management is estimated to exceed $420 billion. And in Ghana, the 2025 Financial Stability Review that is published by the Financial Stability Council, it reported that pension assets grew by 26.3% in 1 year, from 86.23 billion cedis in 2024 to a little over 100 billion in 2025. And that the pensions industry accounted for 16.8% of Ghana's financial sector assets. At that scale, pensions are not peripheral to the financial system. They are one of its major pools of long-term domestic capital.
The APSA conference brought together pension regulators and policymakers, as well as development partners from across Africa, to discuss the future of retirement protection, inclusion, and sustainability on the continent.
The United Nations Industrial Development Organization is seeking to unlock financing for Ghana's emerging circular economy by strengthening the capacity of financial institutions to support sustainable enterprises. Speaking at a circular economy financing training, country coordinator of the Ghana Circular Economy Center project, Eric Janim, stressed that rethinking investment or the risking investments and increasing private sector participation are essential to scaling the country's circular economy.
The United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, has organized a circular economy finance training for financial institutions to strengthen financing for sustainable businesses in Ghana. Country coordinator of the Ghana Circular Economy Center project, Eric Janim, underscored the need to de-risk circular economy financing to attract greater investment into the sector.
The idea of the training is to support the financial sector to be on board in the Ghana Circular Economy Center project being implemented by UNIDO. We understand that no matter what we do, if we don't prepare the financial sector towards the investments of circular economy, probably we may fail because of the fact that we understand the circular economy space is novel, especially in Ghana and Africa. And so to invest means that the financial sector is going to tout it as a risk area. How then do we help them to de-risk so that they can understand the need and then the urgency to deploy funding towards circular economic financing in Ghana?
Mr. Janim also stressed the importance of stronger private sector participation in advancing Ghana's transition to a circular economy.
We can talk about the macro level where we want to ensure that people in policy, such as government ministries, are on board. The meso level institutions that also ensure that government policies are well deployed and implemented, and then the private sector, which is the micro level. Yes, so this segment of groups of people are all enshrined within the circular economy space. If you talk about the private sector, we are not just talking about the industrial sector, but also the financial institutions. And so if you are deploying trainings to the private sector, you do not forget the financial sector, because they work in line. And so the financial sector is always there as a financial intermediary to the private sector.
The training seeks to build the capacity of financial institutions to design innovative financial products that will support finance and skill circular economy businesses across Ghana.
Central Community Bank PLC has recorded its highest profit in history, posting a profit before tax of 14.4 million cedis for the 2025 financial year. This represents a 150% increase over the 5.76 million cedis recorded in 2024. For this reason, the bank is distributing over 2 million cedis in dividends to shareholders through bonus shares to increase the bank's stated capital. Details in this report.
The reinvestment of the shareholders' dividends is aimed at increasing the bank's stated capital to meet the new Bank of Ghana requirement of 5 million cedis. Presenting the chairman's report at the bank's in-profit margins was accompanied by impressive gains in other financial indicators. CEO of Central Community Bank, Akufo-Addo, explains the gains made.
What we did was to strengthen our loans recovery and monitoring system, and we also strengthened our performance management and review system. So almost every fortnightly we were reviewing our performance, seeing where the shortfalls are and addressing the issues, and everybody became conscious of the budget that is ahead of us and for which we need to achieve.
According to the annual general report, loans and advances rose by 33%, while total assets increased by 28%. Shareholders' funds more than doubled, recording 105% growth, with stated capital also growing by 26%. Board Chairman Dr. Stephen Entry urged the bank's shareholders to make further investments in the bank to ensure profit margins are improved.
There's a need for us to get more shareholders and a lot of amounts that of us. So our advice and suggest to all board members, general public and everyone to please invest in such and we hope we will make it next year.
In the area of corporate social responsibility, the bank invested over 160,000 cedis in education, security, health, and other sectors. The bank has also supported the fencing of Pope John Paul II Medical Center in Jamasi. Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Access Bank Ghana has entered a strategic partnership with Mantrac to provide a special service for customers in the mining and construction businesses. The move forms part of the bank's idea to support business growth in the private sector. The bank believes the partnership presents a great opportunities for farmers to expand. More in the following report.
According to Access Bank Ghana, going into an agreement with equipment manufacturing firms like Mantrac is as a result of its initiative to partner with the private sector to support economic growth. The initiative will allow customers in the mining and construction sector to receive special packages to finance their purchase of selected Mantrac machinery. Speaking to journalists after a short ceremony to launch the partnership, Group Head of Corporate Banking at Access Bank Ghana, Frank Amegbeji, says this initiative will boost the mining and construction sector's contribution to the economy.
See this initiative as a good opportunity for the bank to
partner with Caterpillar, Mantrac, who has been in Ghana for the past more than 80 years. And we see the construction and mining sector as one of the significant sectors of the economy now. Even with the government agenda of big push deals with infrastructure development. So therefore, Access Bank wants to be part of this initiative to help the ecosystem and the players within the sector to access finance, to executing their jobs and their operations.
Managing Director for Mantrac Ghana, Pierre Hill, outlined the importance of such a partnership to the industry.
One of the greatest challenges remains access to affordable and flexible funding solutions that allow organizations to invest confidently in equipment, technology, and expansion. We recognize that this decision to acquire heavy equipment and invest in productivity or enhancing assets is often not limited by ambition or opportunity. It is frequently constrained by financing. Through this strategic collaboration with our banking partners, we are removing that barrier. Today, we are bringing together world-class equipment, product support, and the technical expertise of Mantrac Ghana with the financial strength and innovative solutions of our banking partners.
Access Bank also used the opportunity to engage some stakeholders in the sector to take advantage of the various solutions provided by the partnership.
Electroland Ghana has expanded its retail footprint with the opening of a new premium showroom in Medina, a move aimed at bringing customers closer to a wide range of high-quality home appliances and electronics. Speaking at the opening ceremony, the National Sales Manager of Electroland Ghana, Vincent Azan Jibiok, said the premium showroom forms part of the company's strategy to improve customer accessibility and strengthen its presence in key markets across the country.
The opening of the premium showroom, according to Electroland Ghana, is part of effort to bring world-class shopping experiences closer to their customers while ensuring they have access to the latest innovations in home appliances and electronics. Speaking to Joy Business, National Sales Manager of Electroland Ghana, Vincent Azambiok, said the premium showroom forms part of the company's strategy to also improve customer accessibility and strengthen its presence in key markets across the country.
And the good people of Medina have showed us their patronage. They've been very loyal to us. And as a company like Electroland Ghana Limited, who thrives with excellence, we decided to open an ultra-modern showroom in Medina for the good people of Medina to show them that we value their loyalty to us and want to serve them with the best products at the best prices. Now, to do so, we needed to display it in an ultra-modern fashion where when they come, they'll see all our variety and they can appreciate and choose, whatever product meets their expectations. So that's why we find ourselves here opening this beautiful edifice in Medina.
Also speaking at the event, Head of Marketing and Media Relations at Electroland Ghana, Adiza Ibrahim, highlighted the company's flagship Homeland brand, describing it as a trusted household name that continues to provide practical and affordable solutions for Ghanaian families.
Homeland is for us, just like Electroland is for us. So Homeland is for Electroland Ghana Limited. It's an own brand. And Homeland caters for after you have finished buying all your gadgets, then now you are doing setup to serve people. They're definitely going to eat in cookwares, plasticware, metalwares, woodenwares, napkins, ice chairs, catering services, stuff, and even furniture. So that is what Homeland is there to serve. So it's a big brand that is looking for wholesalers and retailers as well. And we'll give you a car price. So please come.
Electroland Ghana represents several international brands and continues to expand its network of showrooms nationwide as part of effort to deepen market penetration and improve customer engagement.
You're still watching Prime Business. The National Biosafety Authority has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that technologies and products entering Ghana's economy are safe, stressing that effective regulation is essential to the country's economic development. Chief Executive of the authority, Kwame Deyasamocheri, made the remarks at a workshop on vaccine development and manufacturing regulation here in Ghana, where he underscored the importance of a robust biosafety system in supporting innovation while protecting public health and the environment.
The workshop, convened by the National Biosafety Authority with support from GIZs under the PharmaVax Ghana program, brought together regulators, research institutions, government ministries, experts, and development partners to validate Ghana's emerging regulatory framework for vaccine and biologics. Chief Executive of the National Biosafety Authority, Kwame Dei Asamoah Otri, said the authority will focus on closing the gaps in the industry.
At the NBA, we believe that our role is not only to be a gatekeeper to stop what is not safe to come onto the market, but also to ensure that there are technologies that are safe and effective in solving problems for us as a country and driving economic development. In recognition of this fact, government established the National Biosafety Authority as an essential pillar to ensure safe deployment of modern biotechnology underpinned innovations.
The meeting also sought to establish an institutional coordination mechanism to strengthen collaboration among key stakeholders. Representative of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Daniel Amenin Dankwa, called for a strong regulatory system for vaccine development in Ghana.
Recognizes vaccine development and manufacturing as a strategic priority for strengthening Ghana's health security and improving access to safe, effective, and quality-assured vaccines. Achieving this requires a strong and coordinated regulatory system. The ministry encourages us to develop a framework that clearly defines institutional mandates, promote effective interagency collaboration, build on existing legal and regulatory structures, and align with international best practices while addressing Ghana's specific needs.
The workshop forms part of efforts to position Ghana to develop a comprehensive regulatory system that supports local vaccine production while ensuring safety, quality, and effectiveness of biological products entering the market.
Thanks so much for being part of Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Sports is next.
Missed passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grade suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-5010-175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
To Prime Sports with me, Razak Masbao. And tonight, Midyama have been handed a major boost ahead of their CAF Confederation, CAF Champions League appearance this season. And they have announced that the TNS Stadium is going to be their home ground for the preliminary round of the tournament. Now, the approval, of course, follows CAF has now granted a Category 2 approval to the TNS Stadium in Tarkwa, marking a very significant milestone for both the club and Ghanaian football. Now, the approval follows a comprehensive inspection by CAF stadium experts and paves the way for the venue to host selected continental competitions for the first time in its history. Now, CAF's approval means the TNS Stadium is now eligible to host CAF Youth and Women's National Team qualifying matches, as well as preliminary round fixtures in the CAF Interclub competitions, subject to final confirmation for individual matches under the governing body's competition regulations. Now, the approval is the latest reward for the extensive redevelopment of the stadium, which has transformed the venue into one of Ghana's most modern football facilities. The reconstruction of the Tarkwa and Abosso Stadium was financed by the Goldfish Ghana Foundation at the cost of some $16 million before it was officially handed over in August 2024. The project has been widely recognized as one of the largest private sector investments in Ghana's sports and infrastructure, and is expected to boost football development in the Western region. Now, joining me via Zoom is the Communications Director of Midyama Sporting Club, Benjamin Willie Graham. And Benjamin, thank you very much for making time tonight with us. You must be a happy side knowing that you'll be hosting some of your CAF Champions League preliminary games at your favorite turf.
I think it's a very good one for the team. It's a very good one for the hardworking president of the club, Moses Zama, and the management team and the board. They have really worked extensively to ensure that this achievement is made available and possible for the fans as well in Tarkwa. This is the first time that Midyama is playing in the CAF competition. We've actually had the opportunity of playing that before. Unfortunately, we had to find ourselves playing outside Tarkwa. And so when this facility was modernized and made available to the people of Tarkwa and Abosso, the plan and the strategy for management and the board, led by Mr. Moses Zama, was to ensure that the next time the team qualifies to play in the CAF competition, they get the opportunity to play the matches here in Tarkwa. And that's obviously what has happened. And we are particularly excited about it. And we are looking forward to having a great moment with the team and the fans as well.
I mean, just how much of significance will it be as far as your quest to go very far in the CAF Champions League is concerned?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to play cup matches without your fans at the stadium. You obviously would have some difficulties. Even the players, sometimes they lose their morale if they're playing and they know that they're not getting their favorite fans at the stadium to watch their matches played. Now, the very good thing is that you play in the preliminary stages, and as you alluded to it in your introduction, the Category 2, again, you have to make the point that the very first time the stadium is being given a chance to host the CAF competition, and actually you've been, categorized in one of the top places, Category 2. So what it means is that there are certain things we need to actually put in right, and then we get to Category 3, which then means that the team or the stadium can host even the Black Stars and some other very top qualifications. And so that moment or this feed given to us means that we can now play some preliminary matches. When we are able to qualify, say, to the group stages, then we must do certain enhancements. And when those enhancements are done, because there are certain clubs that have been ranked in Category 3. For instance, you're playing Yalley, Sundowns, you're playing with that club, CS Faxian. These are top tier clubs in the CAF competition. So once the qualification moves into that level, it means you're hosting Category 3 teams. That means that we must also upgrade to meet those teams as well. So we are hopeful that after that inspection and the Category 2 approval, we definitely are going to make it to Category 3 very soon. And I can assure you that once that is done, I'll be inviting you to Tarkwa to watch one of the CAF competitions as well.
I'll gladly accept that invitation. But in terms of the team's preparation for the upcoming season and the competition itself, how is it going?
it's been wonderful. We've had the opportunity of assembling a team and get the opportunity of having some new and exciting players join us for now. Somewhere on Saturday, we'll continue our preparation in Ivory Coast, Abidjan, where we're going to stay there for approximately 3 weeks. And then, it's 21 days if you like, and then make sure that we come back to Ghana and prepare pretty well. On the 6th of August, that is when CAF is going to have the draw for the CAF Champions League and the Confederations Cup. So we get to know our opponents for the preliminary stages of the competition. So Coach Ibrahim Tanko, Coach Amankwa, and almost everybody in Takwa is making sure that the team is well prepared for the competition. And I must say, once again, very great support there from the club president, Mr. Moses Ama, and the board, and the management, the CEO, James Esilfi, all of them working seriously to ensure that we prepare pretty well for the CAF competition. Not only that, but we also have the Ghana Premier League also happening in September, and we also have the MTN FA Cup also available. So we've got this competition, and reason the 10-car team is ensuring that we have very quality players signed this season, and the availability would ensure that our competition is really going as planned. And so we're hoping to get something better this season.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for your time tonight, and all the best to Midiama as you look to make Ghana proud on the continent. Well, let's stay on CAF, because they have announced that they are exploring the proposal by FIFA to hand its tournament to a sole company, which they call the FIFA Forward Enterprise. Now, while CAF is yet to make a decision on that, some countries have actually taken a decision on what they believe should be the future of FIFA tournaments. And, well, CONCACAF is the latest to take a decision on FIFA's proposal. Now, CONCACAF and its 41 member associations, they have officially rejected FIFA's proposal to sell a minority stake in its commercial operations through the newly created FIFA Forward Enterprises. Now, the Confederation cited concerns in an official statement over the lack of due process, the rash timeline, and the absence of proper governance, while instructing its FIFA Council members to oppose the proposal and explore using FIFA's existing reserves to fund football development instead. Now, CONCACAF is not the only association to have rejected this proposal. UEFA has also rejected it and even threatened to boycott FIFA's tournament. And this is the statement, excerpts of the statement from UEFA, where they indicated that the entirety of the RMB Association completely reject FIFA's proposal, and they describe it as one which is not in the best interest of football, and even said that if FIFA is to continue with this very proposal, then they will not be participating in any future FIFA tournament. And that it's striking. But what it is this FIFA, and you can see the statement, the excerpt of that UEFA statement, and it says UEFA and its 55 member associations stand as one. We unanimously and unequivocally reject FIFA's proposal to transfer ownership interest in the World Cup and other FIFA competitions to private investors. The World Cup cannot be treated as an investment product. It is one of football's greatest sporting legacies. It has been built over generations by players, national teams, and supporters across every continent. No part of it should ever be surrendered to private investors. And they say the World Cup is not for sale. And they conclude by saying that as a result of today's discussion, no UEFA national teams will participate in any FIFA competition for so long as these proposals remain alive, unless this proposal has been abandoned in its entirety and binding assurances have been given that FIFA will never again open its governance or competitions to private ownership. So these are the very strong decisions that UEFA and CONCACAF have taken on this FIFA proposal. But what is it really all about? Gianni Infantino has been explaining and trying to convince members of FIFA to accept this proposal.
is actually a proposal, an offer. It's part of a democratic process, a consultation process, and above all, it is an opportunity, but not an obligation. And as I said, it kicks off the consultation process. It would simply commercialize and organize all FIFA-owned competitions, along with sponsorship, broadcast, licensing, a new venture for the benefit of FIFA's 211 member associations, however, unlocking previously uncaptured commercial value. Strengthening the commercial side of the game is the natural next step in this evolution. So we believe that the FFE proposal would unlock the sport's potential in every corner of the world across men's, women's and youth football. Well, the fans, they remain the cornerstone of the beautiful game, and the sport they watch and love will not change. FIFA obviously continues to govern football without any external interference, and the flagship tournament it organizes, like the FIFA World Cup or the FIFA Women's World Cup, will always remain. More revenue returned to the member associations means more investment in better pitches, stronger national teams, and more pathways for young girls and young boys everywhere in the world. We care about everyone.
That's Gianni Infantino on that new FIFA Forward enterprise. Well, Yao Jima is based in the UK, and he's been following this very closely, particularly the position of UEFA on this matter. And we've just heard the position from CONCACAF on this matter. At least we are now waiting for a few other federations to, take a decision on this, particularly what is going to be the position of CAF on this very matter. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, now we know the position of UEFA and that of, CONCACAF. Just on UEFA, though, they are even threatening to boycott, future FIFA tournament. Is this a very serious threat we are talking about?
Well, it's quite a very serious one because unanimously, UEFA has come out to debunk the whole idea, of course, with Infantino. I think it's an absurd one. It's insane, and football is just all about Infantino's idea is just to push FIFA to more commercialization. And I think that the game is getting out of hand, and UEFA has boycotted, like you said, they've threatened to boycott all the FIFA activities. Also, currently we're seeing that the associations also in the Caribbean have also stood up against FIFA. And I think a lot of other countries where his support was always coming from, even Africa, we're going to see other associations also speak against it, because we need to protect the game, and we, at all costs, football needs to be protected. It's owned by the people, not the business side, and that's the commercialization of the game. I mean,
Fantino makes the point about funding and the fact that this is going to make available some really good fans to develop the game, especially on the continent here, where funding is lacking very seriously. We're talking about the federations on the continent receiving $20 million compared to the $8 to $10 million they were already receiving. I mean, if indeed this is going to help develop the game, especially in parts of the world the game is least developed, shouldn't this be at least considered?
Now, the passion first before the commercialization, because I think it's greed. It's greed. Infantino is no different from Sepp Blatter. Remember, he was his right-hand man. And so he's still moving with that ideology. Too much money cannot develop football. It's not just all about money. You need the love of the game to stay within the communities, to stay within the associations, to stay within the countries, and then we can fund these passion with the money that FIFA is getting. But Infantino seems to be pushing the agenda of the money ahead of the people. And so that's where the friction is coming from. And I think the better we get rid of Infantino, the earlier we get rid of Infantino, the better we save football, because he's insane. We saw the last World Cup that's just ended in America, a very symbolic World Cup, and you saw all the controversies that came around with it. And so it's quite obvious that this guy cannot lead football to the future if it's not commercialized. FIFA has already commercialized it. Joe Haviland commercialized FIFA many years ago. But the level that Infantino is prepared to take it to, if we support this idea, then the world has lost their mind.
I mean, so you will actually advise especially CAF and its member associations to equally reject it and not be considering the monetary aspect of it, because that appears to be one that some of the federations are looking at. You'll be surprised if CAF, you wouldn't be surprised if CAF toes the line of UEFA and CONCACAF, right?
Well, they don't have a choice now, because a lot of his support always comes from Africa and Asian countries, because they always want the money. And as you and I know, these monies, when the FA presidents and the FAs get it, they don't channel down well, and so there's a lot of greed, a lot of sharing here and there, loot and share. So we will have some countries from Africa and Asia throw in their support behind Infantino. Infantino, in fact, has gone ahead to threaten countries that do not back that if the deal is passed, or if they do pass this, those countries are going to receive a minimal amount. And so it tells you clearly that CAF needs to boycott this if CAF really cares about the future of football. It's not about how much money is just going to come in. It's about saving the game. Remember, the game began without this whole money saga running. But Infantino, as we know, is heading towards the idea of franchising, or the idea of bringing investors in. How are we going to control the game on a more balanced level, the global level? Already we've seen how much bidding for World Cups and tournaments is becoming more scandalous. And so how do we introduce this in? FIFA has lost its head, has lost its mind, and Infantino has to go right now so that CAF can also operate within the next phase of our football.
But who's likely to challenge Infantino, though? That's curious. Who's likely? Because at the moment, it appears that he is on course to, get another term. Who is likely to rise up and contest him?
I think the challenge here will start with the fact that every time the UK, journalists here in the UK starts banging on FIFA, it will happen. And I can tell you in the next few months, we're going to start seeing a bit of scandals coming from FIFA, and that will be the start. And so whether he wins the next term, I still think that he's not going to complete that term, because there will be pressure mounted on him. And with this, we heard our Prime Minister here, Andy Burnham, the new Prime Minister, spoke against it. We've had other leaders in Europe also talking against it. Every time you see the unification of European countries come together for one cause, you should start smelling there's danger around the corner. And so I think that it's not a matter of who's showing the face for it, but they will begin to track him down very, very, very soon. And I'm sure Infantino will be out of the door.
All right, Kwejo, thank you very much, and really appreciate your time tonight. And after 2 weeks of thrilling competition at the Borteyman Sports Complex, the curtain has come down on the ITTF Africa Youth Championship and Africa Youth Cup. Ghana celebrated a historic gold medal earlier in the tournament. One of the country's brightest young stars added another podium finish before the competition ended. And Jasmine Levy was there alongside a younger Water to bring you a wrap of it.
For the last 2 weeks, this place has hosted the best youth table tennis players from 23 different countries. Today, the last match was played, but for Ghana, one particular player stood out. Last week, he won gold in the U15 mixed doubles, but today, Israel Akli competed in the ITTF Africa Youth Cup semifinals and was unfortunately defeated 3-0 by Egypt's Aser Sameh. Israel, obviously this wasn't the outcome we wanted. You did lose in semifinals. How are you feeling in this moment?
Unfortunately, I lost to Sameh Asa in the semifinals. And then I'm happy that I made it to the third place of Ghana.
Coach, this is a big year for you guys. Last week, you took home gold. Today, Israel took home third place. How does that feel? How do you feel about his accomplishments this season?
I feel happy. It's a game. You can win some and you lose some. Last year, the same tournament, the African Cup in Nigeria, we did not even get close to quarterfinals. But I can say that this year there has been an improvement. We got to the quarterfinals and we qualified to the semifinals. But we just lost to the Egyptians 3-0. They have also corrected their mistakes and they play well. It's a game. So although I'm not happy, I want to go to the finals. But it has happened. So I have nothing to say.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight on Prime Sports. Thank you very much for your company. Up next is PM Express Business Edition. Please stay with us.
Everything has meaning, but not everything is as it seems. For every story told, there are versions of the truth.
We can't afford to look at this, the numbers that have been presented, and say, we are tired, it's the same old issue. No, somebody should be prosecuted.
Every opinion can be debated. Every claim can be challenged. Even the idea of the national interest can and must be interrogated.
This is the date it was. This was the date it was printed from the system.
That is what
what is he talking about?
Because sometimes the real facts are buried deep within layers of interpretation. So we ask the harder questions. We test every claim. We raise the standard of public discourse and place every issue on the altar of unbiased scrutiny. This is Newsfile, your most authoritative news analysis platform. And here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first.
We stand beneath you. What are you doing?
Newsfile with Samson Ladi and Yanini. On Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible.
We were living in one of the pavilion behind. Later that we had this new building. Then we now moved to the new building.
You did a lot. They have come here and asked us, and they have continued our 6-unit classroom building.
A lot has changed. After documentary, we had 60 tables and chairs, then a 10-bedroom teacher accommodation.
We have never been fair to these young children. The children are suffering. We applied for school feeding, which will have also helped to increase the enrollment.
The impact has been great in terms of enhancing duty bearer responsiveness, in terms of responding to the infrastructure needs, in terms of teacher availability. We are seeing that there's progress.
Imagine a family without a home.
Imagine a song without a voice. Imagine a church without prayers. Imagine a government without citizens. Imagine democracy without journalists. Imagine a world without the media. Life is full of issues and stories about people, communities, and governments. Stories that have to be told by well-trained journalists. That's why you can't imagine news without JoyNews.
From region to region, from citizen to citizen, one conversation, one purpose, protecting Ghana's democracy. The conversation continues from the northern region, where citizens and leaders came together to confront the growing influence of money in politics. The train now makes its next stop at the Volta regional capital of Ho, because protecting our democracy is a shared responsibility. Join the JoyNews Impact Makers Foundation for another exciting edition of Democracy is Not for Sale, a regional citizen politician dialogue bringing together citizens, political leaders, governance think tanks, civil society, and the media to examine the impact of illicit political financing and explore reforms that will strengthen Ghana's democracy. Expect our team of researchers between the 27th and the 30th of July in Ho as they solicit your views for a survey ahead of the forum. The forum is on Friday, the 31st of July at the Freedom Hotel at Ho at 4 p.m. It will be live on JoyNews, Joy 99.7 FM, myjoyonline.com, and all JoyNews social media platforms. Democracy is not for sale. Your vote is your voice.
Imagine a family without a home. Imagine a song without a voice. Imagine